saw it too. What are the odds? What are the odds? Hey, Tony P, what are the odds?
That's a great question, Greg. Shout out to Greg Klima doing that awesome, wonderful theme song. You can find him at klima.com. And you know what, folks? I don't want to be like a tinfoil hat person, but climate change is real. That's a thing Greg does. It's not a climate change thing. It's a climate change. He has like shirts and stuff. You should go get one. It's kind of funny. I need one. Greg, where can I get a shirt? Greg? All right. I should do the show. How's everyone doing? Good. I hope. I am good. I've had a pretty productive, but easy day today. Do you know what that means? Like, I got a lot done. I'm very happy with what I accomplished, but I'm not too tired, not too stressed out. So you get happy, chipper, fun Tony on this week's episode. Shout out to the folks watching at YouTube. I think I mentioned this last week, man, but I've been getting some YouTube traction, so thank you all. And if you're listening in your ear on the podcast, thank you too. And if you don't listen, but you send some positive thoughts my way, I'll take that. That's fine. I mean, that's not as good as the people that listen, but I'll take it. I appreciate it. Not as much, but still appreciate it. So what do we got going on this week? Well, folks, the vinyl bubble has popped. We have Space Karens and a daily Disney story. Oh boy, I can hardly wait. All right, we go to the company that makes Funko Pop collectibles. I have a few Funko Pops. I never got huge into it. I think, okay, I of course have a Pee Wee Herman Funko Pop that I believe was a gift. Or did I buy it? I might have bought it. I have Pee Wee and Miss Yvonne. I think those are the two I bought. And then, of course, I have the Golden Girls. And then I was like, I'm going to stop there. Those are like my favorites. I'm good. Well, unfortunately, the company that makes Funko Pop collectibles, they're in so much trouble. They are preparing to throw hundreds of thousands of figurines into the garbage. Oh, boy. Funko revealed the plans in a recent earnings call that things that are they have so much bad news that its stock price fell off a cliff. I didn't even know Funko was publicly traded. Like, come on, y'all. I get they were, it was a pretty popular business. Maybe, I don't know, past 5 years, would you say? 6, 7 years? But publicly traded? All right. Anyway, inventory at year end. Oh, boy. They have $250 million in inventory, which is an increase of 50% compared to a year ago, which if you're not a stock person, you're not into the financials and the 10Ks, just know that's not good. In fact, some would even say bad. This includes inventory that the company intends to eliminate. Why would they do that? If you're like, well, that makes no sense. Believe it or not, it costs more for them to hold on to it. Like hundreds of thousands of Funkos, they got to put them somewhere. Unlike the thousands of Funkos you may have on a shelf, they don't have all these shelves. So they got to put them in storage. Storage takes electricity. Storage takes heating and cooling. They can't just let them get like super hot or super cold. They got to keep it temperature controlled. You can't have the boxes mess up. I'm sure there's people that work in that building. All that to say, just holding on to these Funkos costs them money. The article goes on to say, translation, Funko's warehouses are overflowing with 5-inch chibi replicas of Machine Gun Kelly, Spider-Man, Pikachu, and every other vaguely famous cultural icon. Yikes. Why'd they have to throw MGK under the bus? Like he's the only real person. Like Spider-Man and Pikachu, they're not getting their feelings hurt. But somewhere, there's a real life Machine Gun Kelly who's like, yo, come on, man. Why I got to be the ones that the Funkos didn't sell? If it was me, I'd buy them. If they had like hundreds of thousands of Tony P Funko Pops, or like we don't know what to do with them, I'd be like, yo, just sell them to me like $1 a piece. I'll take them off your hands. I'd just give them away. I would tip. Here you go. Here's a Tony P Funko Pop. They'd be like, why is this? Don't worry about it. Just here you go. I'd like have them laying around my house. All right. So apparently, I had a friend told me once Derek Jeter, who was known to date a lot, had like gift bags he would give people. And by people, I mean the women that came over to his house. Here's a pop vinyl. Anyway. Let me get back to this article. There's a new CEO. He arrived just last year amid a shakeup and bad earnings. I have to imagine, obviously I know COVID messed up a lot of stuff, but I would imagine COVID messed up the sales of Funko Pops. You see a lot of Funkos at like comic book stores, conventions, things of that nature. And if those things weren't happening, they're not selling Funkos. And Funkos are such a cheap item, you don't really ship them. Like, they're better to buy in person. All right, let's see here. So part of what seems to be going on here is that supply chain shortages, combined with extra income and time at home during the pandemic, spurred a temporary run on Funko. So I might have it backwards. Well, it does say early pandemic. So back when people thought things weren't going to be so bad, like, hey, this ain't so bad. Now that the initial rush has subsided, the company has a ton of extra stock and sales are dropping. So it looks like they're going to bury him in the desert somewhere. It's hard not to wonder if the entire bobblehead redo has hit peak saturation. I personally think so. I feel like a lot of things, Pop Vinyl got a little greedy. They got like Mandalorian Season 1, Mandalorian Season 2, Mandalorian Season 3. He got a different color on his visor. People, even your hardcore collectors, get insulted. They get tired of that. It's not fun anymore. You know, you want to know you have all the Mandalorians. And when they come out with 3 more with a different shoe, like, you know, it's just not fun. What I think is really funny here is if they bury him in the desert, if they have any E.T. Funko Pops and they bury him next to the E.T. video game. Poor E.T. E.T. doesn't deserve that. E.T.'s great. He just had some bad breaks. I feel like I got a little fired up. I'm in a good mood. I think I felt bad for E.T. When's E.T. 2 coming out? Where's that at, Steven Spielberg or James Cameron? Put James Cameron on it. I'd rather that. I don't need more avatars. Anyway, we go to California. 2 shiny dots in the sky startled some residents in California's Central Valley. The Stanislaus County Sheriff took to Facebook to tell people, hey, don't call 911, as NASA confirmed the 2 stars they saw in the sky were just Jupiter and Venus. It was just planets. There is no reason to report this, the sheriff said, adding they received not 1, not 2, but multiple calls to dispatch. The 2 planets were incredibly close as Venus slowly shifted towards Jupiter, passing each other just half a degree apart, according to NASA. Cool, thanks, NASA. The comments on the sheriff's post brought a little humor. Calling 911 on stars is a new one, but it's not, though. Okay, I hope this brings attention to the fact that people call 911 and call the cops for some dumbass, mind your own business type of stuff. This doesn't shock me. I wasn't shocked at all that there was somebody, not just somebody, multiple somebodies who were like, oh, I need to call the cops. What's up with them stars? What are they up to? Well, does it concern you? No. Mind your business. No, I need to know. I'm calling the cops. Someone on the article wrote, oh my God, what is that in the sky? Maybe the sheriff can help. Well, I'm not going to disrespect cops and the sheriffs today. But I will say they got bigger fish to fry. I'll just leave it at that. I will just leave it at that and say they have bigger fish to fry. They probably, as much as most of us don't know, I'm sure they don't know what constellation is popping off at the moment. I guess people think it's like a movie. Like, I feel like in the movie, you would call the local sheriff who would be in this tiny shack, leaning back in a chair with his hat on. Do all the sheriffs wear like cowboy hats? I feel like that's a thing. So they'd call that guy on his like landline and he'd be like, what? Don't worry about it. And then he looks out. He has like a little window and looks out the window and he sees like, this looks like it's getting pretty closer. I better call somebody. And then he just so happens to have like a friend from high school that works at NASA. that can like give them the, like, actually, there's a asteroid coming, I'm glad you said something because nobody believed me. I don't know. That just seems, that's like Armageddon 3. I feel like all of this was the plot to Armageddon 3. Get on that, Steven Spielberg or James Cameron. I don't know either of those. Who directed Armageddon? Oh, this is Michael Bay. Michael Bay. Get on top of that. Michael Bay. But anyway, here, they got time. They got time to make the movie because, according to the National Weather Service, Venus and Jupiter will not be this close until February of 2032. So chill out, relax, have 7-Up, and don't worry about the stars. Mind your business. And we're in our last story. What is this? Yeah, I remember now. I grabbed these stories yesterday. Not only did I grab them yesterday, I gave you the little like teaser of what the 3 are. Completely forgot. Like, what is this last story? Anyway, I remember now. What began as a joke has become a point of pride for one Huntington Beach, California man. Jeff Reitz, 50 years old, has become a celebrity of sorts with his record-breaking streak of 2,995 consecutive visits to Disneyland. The annual pass holder started his adventure in 2012, and it started as a joke, and they just took it from there. Apparently, some time ago, Disney announced they were giving an extra Disney day because for a leap day event, and so Reitz went to that. They quipped it couldn't be an extra day unless you attended every other day. So basically, the joke was it's not an extra day unless you're coming every day, And then Jeff said, all right, bet money, son. That's what we're doing. It says here he decided to use Disneyland as a positive since he was out of work, but had already had annual passes that were gifted to him. So, I think that's kind of cool. I'm not the biggest Disney fan, but I think it's cool that, he kind of had a downtime of being out of a job, but had these passes and definitely got his use out of them. Now, it says here, it was a source of free entertainment. If you haven't been to Disney, I swear it costs $20 just to, walk in or something, drink water. Little did Reitz know this would lead to him to break records. Reitz continued with the challenge even after his friend dropped out. So he's just going, and people are like, nah, I can't do this anymore. No more Disney. I'm hearing It's a Small World in my sleep. So my first thought was, yeah, I'll go every day. I'll just walk in and walk out, right? No, Reitz isn't doing that. He set some ground rules. You got to stay in the park for at least an hour and document his journey online through social media. Then he got a job. Things were looking up. What is he going to do? He's going after work. That's serious. I can't even be mad at that. That is serious. I don't know how you spend an hour in Disney without spending money. You can get, I think the only thing free are like the little cups of water, which I think for legal reasons they have to give you so you don't dehydrate. So good on him. Did he not buy I think last time I went with my buddy, we had a $20 funnel cake. I guess he just skipped on that. And to be fair, the rides are, once you pay for your pass or the gift, you can just ride some rides. It takes you about an hour to go through a line. So maybe he does one ride and leaves. Anyway, in 2012, halfway through the year, the Orange County Register printed a story about him making it to day 183. And then the Associated Press picked it up, and then it became a thing. So he was that guy. Wow, this guy went to Disney 183 days in a row. Keep in mind, he now almost went 3,000, so this was some time ago. I can't even do the math. What was it, 365, 10 years? Let's say 8 years. So anyway, the AP picked it up. Then he became a thing. Disney started sending him gifts. He started getting interviews. He was like the guy. But he did it. He broke the record, and he was given an honorary citizenship certificate. I don't know what that means, or can he just move in now? Does he have diplomatic immunity at Disney? Don't you know who I am? And also, what I would think is most coveted, a pair of golden Mickey ears. I guess when you have the golden Mickey ears, you are the diplomatic immunity. Just do what you want. Just skip the lines. Like, what is it? The new Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, I don't know if they have that out there in Disneyland. They have that here in Florida. Anyway, whatever. It's a small world. Back away. I'm skipping the line. Look at the golden ears. Don't you know who I am? Mayor Reitz. I run this town. All right, the guy seems super nice. I don't think he did that, but I don't know. Maybe that's a little inside peek into me and how the power would go to my head. But that's it. That's it, folks, as we wrap it up. Unless you're going to go to Disney 3,000 times, don't even try. Don't even try. You're not getting the golden ears. If you see stars in the sky, don't call the cops. Matter of fact, if it doesn't concern you and you're not in danger, don't call the cops. Just mind your business. And I don't know, maybe go run and pick up some Funkos if you're a fan. You probably get them for sale, or not. I don't know. I really don't care that much about the Funkos. Or just wait till they bury them. Tell you what, just go dig around Arizona. You might find you a pristine Machine Gun Kelly.